Wyatt on the set. There's the horn, and the charge is underway. Stoves go in, Outriders mount up.
Get up and greet the rising sun. Race toward the horizon. Take only what matters and leave the rest. Stare down your fears and always pull yourself back up. We didn't choose this life. We were born for it.
Since 1910, Pratt's Wholesale has prided ourselves on being an industry leader for communities across Canada, having expanded our distribution centers to include Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. We continue to provide the grocery, retail convenience, food service, and hospitality industries with a leading selection, supply, and services across Canada. New to the Pratt's family is Bistro 101, staffing a full-time corporate executive chef in both Winnipeg and Calgary locations. Bistro 101 is able to provide training to both front and back of house.
Having added Bistro 101, we provide the facilities and culinary equipment that will enable our customers with additional knowledge, education, and training to help them be more effective and efficient to run their business.
We are set. It's Sunday Fun Day here at Century Down Racetrack and Casino. Now, there are thousands of fans here in attendance this afternoon and thousands worldwide joining us at flowrodeo.com. Now, we've had emails asking us, well, are you guys having fun? So let's make some noise for everyone joining us on flowrodeo.com. Loud and proud on the number 4 barrel this afternoon, it's Blade Flat for Pace Oilfield Hauling, where since 2000 they have provided transportation services to the oilfield industry, offering a wide array of job-specific equipment for your projects. Roy Romano is on 3 for Urban Tack and Western Wear. They're Canada's largest Western store with over 85,000 square feet of inventory. 15 minutes north of Calgary. And the number 2 barrel, Josh Herenick, is back with AIC Construction. AIC Construction, excavating construction partners over 3 decades in the industry. Proud supporter of the WPCA. And on the number 1 barrel in Heat 1, Bob Van Eaton for New Edge Construction Limited. They're leaders in earthworks, underground utilities, and hydrovac services for industrial, agricultural, and rail application across Western Canada. Give their team a call to get your project started on solid ground. You've met the Canvas partners. We call them the corporate partners of the wagon drivers. And now to meet the drivers and the Outriders, back we go to Les McIntyre.
Thank you, Gary. Every heat on Championship Sunday is a dash for cash, and heat number 1 features $4,000 at the finish line. Blade Flat and Pace Oilfield will go to that Wrangler 4-barrel. Wound up 35th in the aggregate. Blade on now his 3rd year on the tour. He'll be joined by Roy Romano, a veteran judge, a veteran driver, Irvin's Tack and Western Wear to that number 3 Summit Fleet barrel. Wound up 33rd in the aggregate. Josh Herenick and AIC Construction will come to the number 2 Western Financial barrel, wound up 36th in the aggregate. And Bob Van Eaton, a veteran of some 28, 29 years in that wagon box, brings us Camrose, Alberta's New Edge Construction. On the edge of that number 1 barrel was his hub a minute ago, and that will not cost you a cent in the practice turn, but the next time that barrel goes down after the horn, it will be a 5-second penalty, and Bob does not want that. He knows that full well. His Outriders for Bob Van Eaton are Ethan Mottawillow and Brendan Nolan. Josh Herenick with Rory Jarvis and Cole Somerville. Roy Romano with Quade Tournier and Casey Knight. and Blade Flad with Rory Armstrong and Blade's younger brother Gage Flad as we roll them in for heat number 1, the $4,000 dash for cash. Here comes Blade Flad. He and his cousin Lane will meet later on, grandsons of a guy named Herm Flad, Roy Romano, Irvin's Tack and Western Wear, and Josh Harenick. AIC Construction, your full-service underground utility pros, and Bob Van Eaton with New Edge. Heat number 1, place your bets. Quiet on the set. There's the horn, and the charge is underway. And Championship Sunday at Century Downs is headed southbound and down. And there goes Josh Harenick. AIC Construction tapped his top barrel in the dirt, and Bob Van Eaton with New Edge Construction on the edge of that lane as they go into that first turn, chasing down $4,000 at the finish line. They're dueling it out wheel to wheel, but Bob Van Eaton, rail advantage on his left side. New Edge Construction eases on into the lead with Josh Harenick in hot pursuit. Now the backfield is in motion. Here comes Roy Romano, Irvin's Tack and Western Wear. He's gathering speed, stretching out those thoroughbreds. He's going to move on to the inside of Josh Harenick and AIC Construction. And back in the pack, Blade Flad and Pace Oil Field needs to pick up the pace in this race. We are into that third turn with a 2.5 wagon length lead with Bob Van Eaton. New Edge Construction, and he can smell that $4,000 check as he sets him up for the home stretch drive. Century Downs, it's your turn to come alive. Bob Van Eaton, the old bull rider, kicks her into high gear. New Edge Construction, uncatchable today. He's got to have his 2 white-shirted outriders within 200 feet, and he's going to win this one handily by about 4.5 lengths. Here comes Josh Harenick to be second, just ahead of Roy Romano, and Pace with Blade Flad rolls in to be fourth in heat number 1. If you liked it, they can still hear you. Challenger, and here comes Pace Oil Field. Blade Flad completing his 3rd year on our World Pro Tour. A former WCA Western Chuckwagon Association Safety Award winner. Roy Romano, take the rest of the year off, Roy. He's been a judging award winner, and Irvin's Tack and Western Wear got him to us. How about this speedster, Bob Van Eaton, getting the job done today. New Edge Construction, a 28-year veteran, and Josh Harenick, a graduate of Benz Miller Chuckwagon University, last year's top rookie driver of the year award winner, Josh Harenick and AIC Construction. Heat number 2 will be headed our way, courtesy of our friends at Val's Drilling, right over here in Balzac. Leaders in the drilling industry, and to bring you up to speed on our corporate wagon partners, back down to Gary.
Thank you, Les. They're on the track as you see them atop the Century Downs super screen on the number 4 barrel Logan Gorst for Blackfoot Confederacy Tribal Council. They welcome you all to the home of the Blackfoot Nations, including Siksika, Kainai, Pakani, and Amskapi Pakani. They will be on the number 4 barrel with Logan Gorst. On the number 3 barrel this afternoon, Vern Nolan, Crowburn Capital Corporation, helping you find the right financial advisors. Investing can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be. Ask Crowburn for details today. On the number 2 barrel, it's John Walters for Paderni's for all of your all-field construction, gravel hauling, sales, contaminant hauling needs. Paderni's has been in your business for over 55 years, proudly supporting the WPCA and many organizations and charities throughout central Alberta. And on the number 1 barrel, Kelly Morin for Canvas Partner, Ollie's Trading Post and Trucking, based out of Whitewood, Saskatchewan, your grain and gravel hauling specialists, inviting you to check out their Trading Post and Confectionery store while out in Whitewood, Saskatchewan. We have introduced to you the Canvas Partners, and now to give you information about the men at the reins, let's go back to Les McIntyre.
Logan Gorst, say hello to the 2019 Calgary Stampede $100,000 champion, winner of a GMC and the Richard Cosgrave Memorial Aggregate Championship as well, and the Safety Award winner. He cleaned house, a triple header for Logan Gorst. He's on the 4 barrel, wound up 29th in the aggregate in this $5,000 heat number 2 coming your way. Vern Nolan and Crowburn Capital Corporation. led the season as the season leader, got edged out last night to be the world champion. He, too, was in that Calgary Stampede final this year, wound up 30th in the aggregate here. And Cowboy John Walters and Padernes goes to that number 2 Western Financial Barrel, wound up 31st in the aggregate, and he has been an award-winning wagon man as well. Kelly Morin and Ole's Trading Post and Trucking goes to the number 1 GMC Barrel. A former Lloydminster Fair Colonial Days Fair champ, Kelly joined our tour back in 2014 to be crowned the Rookie of the Year that year. Kelly's outriders are Cole Somerville and Dean Arcan. John Walters with former champion of the world Casey Knight and Dayton Sutherland. Vern Nolan with Eric Perry joining us from the CPCA, and Brendan Nolan, Vern's son, and Logan Gorst with Quade Tournier and Rory Armstrong as we roll in for heat number 2. The Valves Drilling, Ironwood Building Systems, heat number 2. Ironwood Buildings brings it to us. Here comes Logan Gorst. He and his wife Shalyn, last year's Chuckwagon Person of the Year award winners, Vern Nolan, John Walters in, and Kelly Morin with Ole's Trading will complete the field in heat number 2. They're in line, quiet on the set. The horn, and they're off. A good start right across the board. There goes the Purple Prince. Vern Nolan out along. Logan Gorst KOs his bottom barrel. And Vern Nolan takes the early lead, but it's Padernes. John Walters driven to excel from start to finish. John is trying to hang on to that rail position, and he's got his lead team right at the left elbow of Vern Nolan and Crowburn Capital as they round into that second turn. Logan Gorst and his Blackfoot Confederacy round the turn, but he's got that bottom barrel down, and trailing the pack is Kelly Morin, Ole's Trading Post and Trucking. And here's what's trending in the backstretch drive. He's out in front, Vern Nolan, Crowburn Capital, and everybody around him is hanging in there even stride for stride with John Walters and Padernes to the inside, Logan Gorst and Blackfoot Confederacy Tribal Council to the outside, and now we make some moves. That rail advantage for John Walters about to pay off, but he's alongside some tough company as Vern Nolan, Crowburn Capital, and John Walters match strides in the back stretch and the front stretch, and now it's the home stretch drive. Century Downs, it's your turn to come alive. The Purple Prince opens him up for a victory. John Walters slips back by a horse length, and Vern Nolan gets this one by a half a length. It is John Walters and Padernes and Logan Gorst with the Blackfoot Confederacy, Ole's Trading Post, with Kelly Morin rolls in to be fourth in heat number 2. The Ironwood Building Systems, heat number 2. In the meantime, let's bring you up to speed with our Wrangler running times in heat number 1. Here's your running times, courtesy of Wrangler, the Western Original. And winner of the dash is Bob Van Eaton, New Edge Construction. 1:23.71. 1 minute, 23 seconds, and 71 100ths to win the cash. Roy Romano, Urban's Tack and Western Wear, seconded 126.99, 126.99. Blade Flad, Pace Oil Field Hauling, 128.29, 128.29. All those guys penalty free. Josh Herenick, Spider Electric, was 126.74, but he picked up 5 seconds for knocking over that bottom barrel. Brings him up to 131.74. Your Wrangler running times in heat number 1, where everybody gets paid a $4,000 dash for cash. Our Outriders head on back, and if you're new to our sport, you're going to say, well, he said that guy's name twice. He's back again, riding the same heat, but he's not riding the same horse. These thoroughbred outriding horses, as we take them on back with Casey Knight and Dayton Sutherland right there, it is looked more like, here comes your man. It is Kelly Morin, Ole's Trading Post and Trucking, as he rolls on back in his years with us since 2014. Here comes Ole's Trading Post, Kelly Morin, getting the job done here today. Logan Gorst rolls on by on his way back as the champion of Calgary. Crowburn Capital and the Purple Prince and Princess, Vern Nolan and Lisa Bensmiller. winding up second in the world for the second year in a row. And John Walters in Padernes. 2 years ago, he went the entire season penalty-free without a single penalty. John and Bonnie on our tour for the last 11 years. Thanks again to Ironwood Building for bringing us heat number 2. Heat number 3 is the Vels Drilling Heat, and heat number 3 features $6,000 at the finish line. $3,000 to the winner, $1,500 for second, $900 for third, and $600 for fourth. And here's Gary with all our corporate partners.
We introduce him to you on the number 4 barrel, Cody Ridsdale for Go Time Energy Services Limited, Canada's source for reliable heavy-duty equipment rentals and highly skilled operators to always get the job done. Their focus is to deliver exceptional customer service. On the number 3 barrel, Chad Fike for Les Maisons Simon. Shop the hottest fashion styles and trends in women's and men's clothing, home decor, and accessories exclusively at Les Maisons Simons in Calgary and Edmonton. Tomco Group of Companies and Cody McCurra on the number 2 barrel, where they're proven leaders. Tomco Group of Companies, your integrated solutions provider. They're number 1 for a reason with 10 locations. Thank you, Rod Tommen. All over Canada, online at tomco.ca. And on the number 1 barrel, Darcy Flad for PBR and their Ride Pass, your all-access pass to the world of Western sports, where you can stream exclusive live and on-demand action from the PBR. For heat number 3 for the drivers, let's go back to Les McIntyre.
It's go time for Cody Ridsdale. Go time energy as he goes to that number 4 Wrangler barrel. Wound up 27th in the aggregate. In the winner's zone, he was the number 10 guy. Cody having his best year to date. Chad Fike, the fashionable Chad Fike from Simons, goes to the number 3 Summit Fleet barrel. Wound up 28th in the aggregate. 22nd in the world. Chad is a former world outlotting champion back in 2012. And Cody the Hound McCurra used to play hockey for the Notre Dame Hounds. He goes to the number 2 Western Financial barrel, Tomco Group of Companies. He was in the winner's zone, finishing 9th and 25th in our aggregate for Cody McCurra, having his best year to date. And Darcy Flad in the PBR Ride Pass will ride past the number 1 barrel, as he's done so for the last 16 or so years. Wound up 26th in the aggregate, 17th in the world. Outriding for Darcy Flad are Rory Jarvis, the world champ, and Hayden Matawillo. Cody McCurra with Casey Knight and Ethan Matawillo. Chad Fike will feature Quade Tournier and Trey McGillivray, one of our young guns, and Cody Ridsdale with the Mullet Man, Cole Somerville, and Brendan Nolan, an award-winning outrider. Here comes Cody Ridsdale. His 12 years on the tour and his best one this year. He goes to 4 with Chad Fike and Simons alongside. Cody McCurra, Tomco Group of Companies, thank you, Rod Tommen, and Darcy Flad, PBR Ride Pass. Heat number 3, place your bets. The horn, and they're off in a quick start for Chad Fike and Simons, all dressed up and heading out of town in a hurry with Cody McCurra. The Tomco Group of Companies right alongside, pushes out Chad Fike 3 wide, and that opens the rail for Darcy Flad and PBR Ride Pass. And now Cody McCurra takes that rail opportunity away as he goes to it. And then you see Chad Fike, Simons around the outside, opening him up yet another notch. And he is outdistancing the field as they round that second turn, with Chad Fike and Simons setting the pace in the backstretch race. Cody McCurra, the Tomco Group of Companies, hangs tight to that rail, and here comes Darcy Flad. PBR Ride Pass, open the gate and let her buck. He is closing in on our leaders with every stride, and Cody Ridsdale, Go Time Energy Services, going around the outside, might duck to the rail. It's a outrider's heads-up time as we watch Chad Fike and Simons round that fourth turn and look at the backstretch, the backfield that is. It's in motion. Darcy Flad coming around the outside of Cody McCurra, and here they come, a 3-wagon race to the wire. The louder you cheer, the quicker they get here. Chad Fike on the inside with company a-coming. Cody McCurra opens him up at the wire. Darcy Flad answers the call from the outside, but it's Cody McCurra a horse length ahead of Darcy Flad. Chad Fike a third, and Go Time Energy with Cody Ridgedale completes the field of 4 in heat number 3. And that is the amazing Bell's Drilling heat number 3. Let's take you back to our Wrangler running times in heat 2. The Century Downs $5,000 dash for cash, and it goes like this. Vern Nolan, Crowburn Capital Corporation at 1:22.86 gets the gold. 1:22.86 to win the heat. That, by the way, happens to be the fast time of the night and maybe the week. John Walters, Padernes at 1:23.29. 1:23.29. Both those boys penalty free. Logan Gorst, the G-Man, Blackfoot Confederacy, 1:24.96, but he hit a barrel to be 5 seconds more at a 1:29.96. And Kelly Morin, Ole's Trading Post and Trucking at 1:25.29. 5 seconds as well for hitting a barrel, brings Kelly up to 1:30.29. Your Wrangler running times in heat 3. Wranglers available at Irvin's Tack and Western Wear. My wife Kelly and I were in that store yesterday. Oh my goodness. They have 100,000 square feet of retail space and about 40,000 pairs of Wranglers for everybody, no matter the size your Wrangler butt, they'll get you covered. How about Chad Fike? What a great year he has had. He is a former All-Star at the Calgary Stampede, Rookie Driving Award winner, an outriding champion, world outriding champion, and a grandson of a guy named Ron David, who raced for 48 years on our tour. You'll meet his brother Jordy in our Century Downs $50,000 Winter Zone Championship heat. Darcy Flad in the PBR Ride Pass. He, too, was an outrider. Remember the day, Darce? Back in Cheyenne, Wyoming. He's got the buckle from Buddy Bensmiller's trip. Well, Darcy's been an award winner many times at the Lloydminster Fair and a Most Improved Driver Award winner. Cody Speedy Gonzalez Ridgedale and Go Time Energy in his best year to date, and the Cody crew with Cody McCurra this time, the Tomco group of companies, an award-winning driver with Pinoca Aggregates in his game. Most Improved Driver, Chuckwagon Person of the Year. He and Michelle have been on our tour for the last 14 years.
Introducing the Express Service Kiosk. Drop-off and pickup service available to you 24/7. Touch the screen to get started. Follow the prompts. When ready, place your keys inside. Choose how you want to be notified. And you're done. The Express Service Kiosk. New, fast, easy. Experience the Davis difference today.
Hail, lightning, strong winds, and heavy rain. Storms are unpredictable. I'm Mark Massal, Regional Director for Western Financial Group. I was born and raised in the prairies, and as a farmer's son and farmhand, I've seen firsthand the devastation that hail can cause. Hail is one of Canada's most expensive hazards. The economic effect of a hail loss can be devastating. The only way to protect your most important asset at the most vulnerable time is through hail insurance. On average, the prairies receives 130 severe hailstorms a summer. In 2018, there was over $161 million paid out on 11,200 claims in Western Canada alone. July is the most active month, and we are witnessing more frequent and intense storms than we have in the past. We live in the same communities as you. We know the challenges that summer storms bring. Our licensed teams in our 179 brokerages across Canada can make purchasing hail insurance simple. Protecting your crops means protecting your business. That's just common sense.
Fortis Alberta is an electricity distribution provider, and we own and operate the lines and poles that bring electricity to the homes and businesses of our customers throughout Alberta.
With the technology that we have inside our Fortis Control Center, we can now see outages real time and be able to restore customers within seconds.
At Fortis Alberta, we are very proud to live and work in the communities that we serve and to provide our customers with safe and reliable electricity service.
As we make our way closer to our championship final heat, we've mentioned that it's a $50,000 dash and a beautiful trailer, a horse trailer from Desert Sales. And congratulations and thank you to Adam Sieben from Desert Sales. He's with us here today. Desert Sales in Bassano, the 2019 championship trailer presenter here today. And thank you. If you're in the mood for a trailer, any shape and size, head out to Pisano, about an hour and 10 minutes east of Calgary. And on the number 1, Adam Sieben will get you in the game. They are headed our way for heat number 4, and to bring you our corporate partners on the wagon canvases of heat number 4, we go back down trackside as the wagons roll. Here's Gary.
Thank you, Les McIntyre. The wagons roll for us on the other side of the Harrow, and the number 4 barrel, Troy Dorchester, for Team Rig and Supply out of Nisku, Alberta, where they ship everything there is to be shipped to supplies to all of the drilling rigs. Al McTavish and Team Rig and Supply have been in business for nearly 2 decades. On the number 3 barrel, Lane Fladd for Kelts Transport, experts in trucking based out of Consort, Alberta. Wherever the compass points, Wayne Kelts and Kelts Transport can get you there. On the number 2 barrel this afternoon, Curtis Morin for Lone Star Tack and Feed, one of the largest feed distributors in the Calgary area, conveniently located southeast of Calgary on Highway 22X. They're proud to be local, independent, and family-owned and operated for the last 15 years. And on the number 1 barrel, Chance Vegan for his canvas sponsor, Reinhardt Construction. From start to finish, they are your construction specialist. A tip of the hat to Bruce Reinhardt of Reinhardt Construction, who brings us Chance Vegan on the number 1 barrel. A Sunday Fun Day continues here at Century Down Racetrack and Casino. We send it back upstairs for the driver and outrider profiles, brought to us by Les McIntyre.
Thank you, Gary Gross. It is heat number 4, and it is a $7,000 heat number 4, and thanks to our friends for bringing it to us from GMC. Here is the man with the plan, Troy Dorchester. Last year, 2018, the Calgary Stampede Guy Wiedeck Award winner for professionalism and sportsmanship. Team Rig and Supply bring Troy to that 4-barrel. Wound up 22nd in the aggregate with his second-place day money last night. Lane Fladd, a young gun in his first rookie year as a wagon driver, takes Kelts Transport to that Summit Fleet number 3 barrel. Wound up 24th in the aggregate. And he just graduated high school back in June. Curtis Morin is back on the track with Lone Star Tack and Feed. You met his brother Kelly in opening heat. Curtis goes to the number 2 Western Financial barrel. Wound up 23rd in the aggregate. And now in his 4th year on our World Pro Tour. And Chance Vegan, the Rangeland Derby rock star. What a week he has had. Until a barrel tipped, he was at the top of his game. Reinhardt Oilfield brings the 5-time World Outrunning champion to the number 1 barrel. And Chance's outriders are Ryan McNeil and Rory Armstrong. Curtis Morin will feature the world champion Rory Jarvis and Dean Arcand. Lane Fladd with Trey McGillivray and Hayden Montewillow. And Troy Dorchester with Quade Tournier and Quinn Langevin. The Q team as Troy lines them up. Team Rig and Supply. Lane Fladd, Kelts Transport, Curtis Morin, Lone Star Tack and Feed. It's a Texas Sunday afternoon. And Chance Vegan, Reinhardt Oilfield. Heat number 4, quiet on the set. The horn sounds, and they're off, and a quick start for Chance Vegan. Reinhardt Oilfield on that number 1 barrel. Somehow it got down. I'm not sure. The judges will figure it out as Chance takes Reinhardt to the rail and takes the lead away from Kelts Transport and Lane Fladd, who sachets in alongside. Then you go back to Curtis Morin and Lone Star Tack and Feed. All alone in the back at 3rd, and Troy Dorchester, Team Rig and Supply, tours the field back by a half a length to be 4th, and here we go in the backstretch run. It's Chance Vegan, this year the Dawson Creek champ. Reinhardt Oilfield that opens them up in that backstretch run, and here comes the rookie, the young gun. That's Lane Fladd and Kelts Transport hanging in there, stride for stride as they glide into that 3rd turn. Now Curtis Morin, Lone Star Tack. He's starting to make a move. He's on the rail, running 3rd by about a wagon length. He's gauging his difference of space between he and the stove rack of Chance Vegan, waiting for that opportunity to find a hole. And the horses of Troy Dorchester coming around the turn to be 4th, and here they come to the wire. Chance Vegan, Reinhardt Oilfield Services opens them up a notch. Here comes Lane Fladd from the outside, Curtis Morin from the inside, but they're going to run out of racetrack. Chance Vegan and Reinhardt get there by 3/4. Look at this race for 2nd place. Kelch Transport, and Lone Star all in at even Steven, and Troy Dorchester's Team Rig and Supply fourth at the wire. Heat number 4, courtesy of our friends at GMC. Let's take you back to heat number 3 and the Wrangler running times in our $6,000 Century Downs Dash in heat number 3. It is Cody McCurra, the Tomco Group of Companies, penalty-free at 124.40 to win the heat, 124.40. Darcy Flad, PBR Ride Pass, in at 124.54 to be second. Chad Fike and Simons in at 125.08 to be third, and Cody Ridgedale, Go Time Energy Services at 125.89 to wrap up the field of 4. Running times from Wrangler, the Western Original. Nice job as they take their final Sunday of competition into the books. It's been a great year for Outriders. New horses, old horses, new kids coming in. Always great to see the young guns participate and grow up and get to be 15, 16 years of age when you can start out riding. Kind of like the thing they want to do is this right here, chuck wagon drivers. Lane Flad is living the dream. He's 18 years of age, the youngest guy on the tour. Graduated high school in June, started shaving in July, and back in the wagon box. You have seen his father, Darcy, moments ago in the racetrack. Chance Vegan grew up in this sport. His father, Mike Vegan, retiring this year. His granddaddy was a guy named Ralph Vegan, one of the greatest horsemen of all time and one of the greatest wagon men. For 48 years, Ralph toured the tracks and won the Calgary Stampede. Chance Vegan, what a great future. He's been the Dawson Creek and Saskatoon champion this year as well. Chance, nice job, thanks to Reinhardt. Scarface is back. Curtis Morin, a well-respected member of the Big River First Nation out there in Saskatchewan. Lone Star brings us the Turtleford champion, and Team Rig and Supply and Troy Dorchester, the Triple Crown champion of the Calgary Stampede and the Ponoka Stampede in 2012. And that young man, the Weedick Award winner, carrying on the third generation of the Dorchester dynasty. Heat number 5 coming at us courtesy of our friends at Mountain View Printing and Graphics. And here with the track graphics is Gary Gross.
And atop the Century Down Super Screen, we view Mark Sutherland for Friends of Sutherland Racing and Brand USA, an association of North American travel partners. YYC Calgary International Airport is Western Canada's gateway to the United States with daily nonstop flights to a multitude of U.S. destinations. Visit yyc.com. Lane McGilvery off 3 with Spray Lake Sawmill. They are proudly Albertans, 76 years of supporting communities and growing healthy forests. Did you know annually Spray Lake Sawmill plants 3 million trees on the number 2 barrel Dustin Gorse for Grand Prairie Airport, your Peace Country connection to the world. 18 arrivals and departures each day to and from Calgary with full meeting and catering for your business needs. Fly, meet, and fly for all your business needs. Grand Prairie Airport, proud sponsor of the WPCA for over 10 years. And on the number 1 barrel, it's Jason Glass for Birchcliff Energy, a Calgary-based intermediate oil and gas company that explores for, develops, and produces natural gas, light oil, and natural gas liquids. All of Birchcliff's operations are concentrated in the Peace River Arch of Alberta. That is considered by management to be one of the most desirable natural gas and light oil drilling areas in all of North America. For the drivers, let's go back upstairs and join Les McIntyre.
The $8,000 Century Downs Heat 5 with $4,000 to the winner, and Mark Sutherland is a winner of the Ponoka Stampede just this summer in Brand USA as he takes him to that number 4 Wrangler barrel. Wound up 18th in the aggregate, number 7 in the winner's zone, and 7th in the world standings. Here comes Lane McGillivray. Lane McGillivray and the Spray Lake Sawmills goes to that number 3 barrel, 20th in the aggregate. And you notice something unique about his outrider, his wagon horses? There are 4 different colors. No 2 match, but they are amazing when they get it going. It is Dustin Gorst in Grand Prairie Airport. He has filed a flight plan off that number 2 Western Financial barrel. Dustin winding up 17th in the aggregate. And Jason Glass, Birchcliff Energy, the 4-time world champion and 4-time Calgary aggregate champ, goes to the number 1 GMC barrel. 19th in the aggregate. Out riding for Jason Glass are Ethan Matawillo and Rory Armstrong. You've heard me tell how Rory's grandpa, Lyle, and Jason Glass' grandpa, Ron Glass, outrode and drove with each other. Well, Dustin Gorse features Quade Tournier and Casey Knight. Lane McGillivray with he and Lorena's son, Trey McGillivray, and Cole Somerville, and Mark Sutherland with Rory Jarvis and Brendan Nolan. Here comes Brand USA. Mark Sutherland about to make a run for the border. Takes him to the four-barrel. Lane McGillivray, Spray Lake Sawmills, 3 million trees a year. Dustin Gorse, Grand Prairie Airport. Flight deck, prepare for liftoff. Jason Glass, Birchcliff is in, heat 5. There's a horn, and they're off. A quick start right across the board, and here they come. Mark Sutherland making a run for the border. Brand USA. No free trade here. He is out in front, but Jason Glass and Birchcliff Energy, he's got that rail and he's got the speed as the checkerboards make their move. In behind to be third is Dustin Gorse, Grand Prairie Airport, lifts his flight gear and kicks her into turbocharge, and in behind him it's Lane McGillivray and Spray Lake Sawmills. But look at this race on the front end. Two young guys that got started in the sport about the same time. Their fathers were superstars, and these kids are dueling it out in the backstretch. Jason Glass, Birchcliff Energy, stride for stride to hang on to the lead. Mark Sutherland, Brand USA just around the outside of him. And then Dustin Gorse, Grand Prairie Airport. Clear the runway. He's headed for the runway. And in behind him, it is Lane McGillivray and Spray Lake Sawmills. And now look at Lane open him up. He's putting the pressure on Dustin Gorse and Grand Prairie Airport. And here we come with the home stretch drive. Century Downs, it's your turn to come alive. Jason Glass, Birchcliff Energy. Here comes Mark Sutherland, Brand USA, the Ponoka champ, taking a move with the checkerboards. But at the wire, it's going to be too close to call. Near a dead heat. Mark Sutherland, Jason Glass, Dustin Gorse, and Lane McGillivray rolls in behind. I'm leaving that one up to the cameras. From this angle, it's too close to call. Hey, if you liked heat number 5, they can still hear you. Let's take you back to our Wrangler running times in heat number 4, and that was a $7,000 heat. 4 from Century Downs. $3,500 goes to the fastest wagon, and that was Lane Flad, the young rookie driver. Put it together today. Kelts Transport had 125.78 to win the heat. Curtis Morin, Lone Star Tack and Feed at 125.79 to be second. Troy Dorchester, Team Rig and Supply, 125.81 to be third. And Chance Vegan, that is, Reinhardt Oilfield Services, had a running time of 125.13. But remember, he knocked over his bottom barrel when he started. Caught it with a hub. 5 seconds takes him to 130.13. And instead of winning the 3,500, he gets 700. Expensive barrel tap. How about them Outriders? He's getting down to the last few moments of our tour. Here comes a guy whose family represents the entire history of our sport. Jason Glass, a 4-time world champion. He and Brian have won 11 equine awards for their top animals. He's won at every show we've been at, and a 4-time world champion. Spray Lake Sawmills and Lane McGillivray, 3 generations of wagon racing in his blood. Spray Lake Sawmills, and one of the top guns. Mark Sutherland, a Ponoka Stampede Chuck Wagon champion with his bride Dina alongside. And they've been on this tour for the last 27 years, award winners. And it is Dustin Gorse and the pilot, Grand Prairie Airport, your Peace Country connection to the world. And Dustin, an award winner as well at the Calgary Stampede, winning Rocky Mountain House a couple years ago. A great team they've got.
Heat number 6 and the number 4 barrel for Nozek Fine Meats of Red Deer, Alberta. It's Wade Solomon, where they produce ready-to-eat meats for food service and retail. Their all-time people favorite delicious beef jerky and pepperoni sticks. Check them out online at nozek.com. On the number 3 barrel, Kirk Sutherland for Red Deer Motors, locally owned and operated for over a decade in Red Deer. If you're thinking new, well, think again. Selling a wide variety of premium used and pre-owned inventory, all makes and models, just off Highway 2 and 67th Street in Red Deer. Doug Irvine on the number 2 barrel for Silent Air, global leaders in data center infrastructure solutions, celebrating 25 years of innovation. And on the number 1 barrel, Dayton Sutherland and Canvas sponsor Pace Setter Equipment Limited, serving all of Western Canada. Through their head office in Calgary, they're prepared to supply you with high-quality, low-hour, heavy equipment to meet all of your project's needs. You have met the 4 Canvas partners that'll embark on the figure 8 in heat number 6. And now for the drivers and their outriders, we go back upstairs and join Les McIntyre.
It is Wade Salmond. I call him a rookie on the tour, but for the last quarter of a century, he has won everything there is to win. Racing pony chuck wagons and chariots from Houston to way up north in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan. He goes to the number 4 Wrangler barrel, 16th in the aggregate, and Nosak Fine Meats brings him to us. Kirk Sutherland, Captain Kirk, and Red Deer Motors. He is on that number 3 barrel. The Summit Fleet barrel, wound up 14th in the aggregate for the former world champion. Silent Air will slide in quietly with Doug Irvine on the lines on that number 2 Western Financial Group barrel. Doug wound up 15th in our aggregate, 18th in the world. He won the High River Guyweedic Days earlier on this year. And Pace Setter Equipment, Dayton Sutherland back on the tour, filling the gap left vacant by Mike Vegan. Came back into Rocky Mountain House and won the championship for the 2nd year in a row. He spent his summer up with the Western Chuckwagon Association. Goes to that number 1 GMC barrel, 12th in the aggregate. Outriding for Dayton Sutherland are Cole Somerville and Rory Armstrong. Doug Irvine with Rory Jarvis and Quinn Langevin. Kirk Sutherland features Quade Tournier and Chad Fike, a former world champion. Wade Salmond with another former world champion, Casey Knight, and Ethan Matawillo, future world champion. Here comes Wade Salmond. He and his wife Kim joined our tour from Weeks, Saskatchewan earlier this year. Nosak Fine Meats, Kirk Sutherland, Red Deer Motors, former Calgary and world champ Doug Irvine, Silent Air, and Dayton Sutherland, Pace Setter Equipment. He's about to race his great uncle. There's the horn, and they're off. Quick start for Uncle Kirk Sutherland as he rounds that 3 barrel, and there goes Doug Irvine to the inside of him. Here comes Wade Salmond to the outside, and Dayton Sutherland, Pace Setter Equipment, setting the pace, the back of the pack. But look at those guys on the front end. It is Doug Irvine, Silent Air, as he blows into that 2nd turn. Holding off a charge from Kirk Sutherland, Red Deer Motors, as they go at it wheel to wheel. The spoke dance begins out of that 2nd turn. One outrider just leaving town, and we are into that 2nd turn, and old Brownie don't want to go. And here we go in the backstretch. There goes Captain Kirk Sutherland, Red Deer Motors. He's got a horse-length lead now over Doug Irvine and Silent Air, and that outrider's headed for the airport. Now we go into the backstretch again, and Wade Salmond, Nosak Fine Meats, up the middle of the track. Here comes young Dayton Sutherland. He can see his great uncle, Kirk Sutherland, rounding the turn, and he wants to catch him and pass him. But you cannot pass what you cannot catch, and Kirk Sutherland can be a little hard to catch as we round the turn, coming home for the home stretch drive. Doug Irvine, Silent Air on the inside. Kirk Sutherland, Red Deer Motors, laying right alongside, and Captain Kirk, beam me up, Scotty. I found the finish line. Kirk Sutherland by a horse length over Doug Irvine, and Nosak with Wade Salmond a half a length ahead of pace setters Dayton Sutherland in an exciting heat number 6. Heads up, we have incoming around the 4th turn. Patience and persistence pays off as we guide him in here today. I won't tell him who you are, Rory, but the wagons went that way. Buddy, if you slow down, you'll be first in the next race. Here is your Wrangler running times in the Heat 5, the $8,000 dash, with $4,000 to the winner. And the winner is Jason Glass, Birchcliff Energy, 125.02, 125.02 in a dead heat with Mark Sutherland. They were even at the wire. 125.02 in a dead heat with Jason and Mark. They'll split the monies. Lane McGillivray, Spray Lake Sawmills, 125.95. Those guys were all penalty free. Dustin Gorst, Grand Prairie Airport, was a 125.55. He picked up 1 second. His wagon started ahead of the horn. His horses moved on him just before they blew the horn, and a 126.55 is total time for Dustin Gorst. So a dead heat here at Century Downs to win that one. Pace setter, and he'll set the pace all next year. Dayton Sutherland is back, a former rookie award winner 2 years ago, an outrider for the last 7 years, and I think it was 3 years ago when he won the Most Improved Outrider Award. Going to be a great driver. Like his father Mark and his granddaddy Kelly, you might have heard the Feather, the 12-time world champ. Here comes Silent Air's Doug Irvine, the Guy Weedig Days High River champion of 2019, an award-winning driver for the last 17 years on the tour. Him and his wife Jimmy Lou with several equine awards. Nosak meets Wade Salmond, a great opening year in the WPCA. You're going to see a lot more of that guy down the road, thanks to Nosak Food Group. And Captain Kirk Sutherland, Red Deer Motors, a world champion, a Calgary champion. He's won 16 shows in his career that goes back to the early 70s. He and his wife Kathy have won several Equine Outfit of Excellence awards, and he is going to be a world champion again someday.
Hey, number 7 on the number 4 barrel, it's driver Aubrey Matawello for Cooperators Insurance and Financial Services, where they offer home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance, plus investments, group benefits, and retirement plans to your community for over 70 years. Visit them in Drumheller, Bicycle, Three Hills, or just up the trail in Airdrie. On the number 3 barrel, Mitch Sutherland for Brown Chevrolet GMC Buick, proud to be a source for GM vehicles in Dawson Creek, British Columbia, featuring a large selection of new and used trucks, cars, and SUVs. On the number 2 barrel, Evan Solman for Canvas sponsor Westland Livestock Incorporated, where they believe in providing their customers with the best possible hauling service from beginning to end, with seamless organization, friendly and dependable staff, and timely delivery. Their vision is to be Western Canada's best customer-centric company. And Roger Moore for PCL Construction Management, your general construction contractors in the building, civil, and heavy industrial markets. Your independent general contracting specialists, PCL and Roger Moore, on that number 1 barrel. For more on the drivers and outriders, we go back upstairs and join Les McIntyre.
$10,000 at the finish line in heat number 7 with $5,000 to the winner, and Aubrey Matawello has been there, done that. He's been in some great final heats for the cash. Cooperators Insurance brings us the Hoadley Hornet to that number 4 Wrangler barrel, wound up 7th in the aggregate for the former Ponoka champion. It is Mitch Sutherland's outfit, handled by Captain Kirk, Mitch's father. Mitch is on the injury list, and Brown Chevrolet way up in Dawson Creek takes Captain Kirk to that number 3 barrel, wound up 9th in the aggregate. Evan Solmond, and he is on that number 2 barrel with his Westland outfit, the Western Financial Barrel and Westland Livestock, all matching up for Evan Solmond. He wound up 6th in the aggregate. And Roger Moore, old 007, takes PCL Construction Management to the number 1 GMC barrel, wound up 5th in the aggregate. On his tour over in the Canadian Pros, Roger was a 7-time outriding champ. Tonight, his outriders, Casey Knight and Ryan McNeil. Evan Solmond with Rory Jarvis and Brendan Nolan. Mitch Sutherland's outfit with Quade Tournier and Cole Somerville. And Aubrey Matawello with he and his wife Angie's boys, Ethan and Hayden Matawello. Here he comes. The Hoadley Hornet. Little town of Hoadley, up Rimby Country. The former reserve champion of the world is in. Mitch Sutherland with Dad Kirk driving. Evan Solmond, Roger Moore complete the field. Heat number 7. They're in line. Quiet on the set, please. There's the horn, and they're off. Kirk Sutherland, a quick start with Browns on that 3-barrel, and there goes Aubrey Matawillo and the cooperators from the outside. Roger Moore, PCL Construction on the rail, and up the middle is Evan Salmond and Westland Livestock. Barrels are up. Outriders in hot pursuit, and it is Captain Kirk Sutherland and Brown Chevrolet. Kicks him into gear, headed to that second turn. Best of company by a wagon length, and Aubrey Matawillo, Cooperators Insurance, easing on in, gaining on old Captain Kirk with every stride. Third along the rail, we find Roger Moore, PCL Construction Management, and now he's being passed on the outside by Evan Salmond in Westland Livestock. Westland is northbound, and he's approaching our two leaders as they go into that third turn. Kirk Sutherland, Brown Chev, got that rail, but he's got Aubrey Matawillo haunting him from the outside with Cooperators Insurance, and they match strides into that fourth and final turn and set up for a good old-fashioned horse race. And here they come to the wire. It is Kirk Sutherland on the inside, Aubrey Matawillo on the outside, and Aubrey opens him up. The Hoadley Hornet about to put the sting on Kirk Sutherland as he heads him to that wire. Aubrey Matawillo by a neck over Kirk Sutherland and Browns. Westland with Evan Salmond rolls in, and Roger Moore's PCL fourth at the line in heat number 7. Heat 7 courtesy of AMPM Limousine Service. Around the clock they go. Let's bring you up to speed on our Wrangler running times in heat number 6, the $9,000 Century Downs Dash with $4,500 to the winner. Here's your Wrangler running times, heat 6. Kirk Sutherland, Red Deer Motors. No wonder he was smiling when he came out just now. 123.86, penalty free to win the heat, 123.86. Doug Irvine, Silent Air, blew in 124.14 to be second, 124.14. Wade Salmond, Nosak Fine Meats, 126.08 to be third, 126.08. And Dayton Sutherland, Pace Setter Equipment, had a running time of 126.49. But he picked up 1 second for that late outrider, and a 127.49 is total time. Your Wrangler wrap-up of Heat 6. How about them outriders from Heat 7? Nicely done. The Matawillo boys head on back to the barns, where Mom has already got everything ready to go to work. Unharness the beautiful thoroughbreds, cool them out, give them a bath, check their shoes. They get about 6 gallons of oats a day and vitamins, all they can eat and drink. And here is the game as Evan Salmond rolls on by with Westland Livestock. He and Adrian joined our tour 10 years ago. He's been a champion in many towns. The Cooperators and Aubrey Matawillo. He and Angie for 14 years been tearing up the track. Former Ponoka and Strathmore champ. Roger Moore and PCL from Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. He and Joyce on our tour for the last 8 years, a former Ponoka champion as well. And Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC, Captain Kirk filling in for his little boy Mitch on the injury list. Mitch Sutherland was the reserve Calgary Stampede champion just 3 years ago. He lost out by 3/100ths of a second to that guy right there, Kirk Sutherland, the 016 Calgary champ. Heat number 8 is headed our way. And a big thank you to our friends at Heat number 8, our neighbors, Rangeland RV Center. For all your family fun, camping, RVing needs, just head out to the backstretch and say hello to all the great group at Rangeland RV. Down in the winner's circle, here's Gary with Heat 8.
Thank you, Les. Heat number 8 on the number 4 barrel, Chad Harden, our show champion for MNP, one of the largest full-service chartered accountancy and business advisory firms in all of Canada. MNP's head office in Calgary. They have offices in Vancouver Island, all the way to Halifax with over 4,500 staff. MNP is currently ranked as one of the largest professional service firms in Canada. On the number 3 barrel, Gary Gores for Janelta Power Incorporated, where they reduce carbon carbon footprints by transforming underutilized energy into clean power, powering communities for the future. Troy Flatt has Ironwood Building Corporation on the number 2 barrel, where they design, manufacture, and build steel-based buildings and precast concrete buildings throughout Western Canada, proudly manufactured in Alberta, online at ironwood.ca. And Chance Flatt has Espen Crossing, nestled in the small hamlet of Mosley, Alberta. You'll find a train-themed destination that is fast becoming a true rural gem in the Canadian Badlands. Espen Crossing, located just 45 minutes south of Calgary, off of Highway 24. For the drivers and outriders for heat number 8, we go back to Les McIntyre.
Say hello to the newest history-making aggregate champion of Century Downs, Chad Hardin, the number 1 gunner in the aggregate, goes to that Wrangler number 4 barrel as heat number 8 features $11,000 with $5,500 to the winner. Chad Hardin's been there, done that. It's Gary Gorst, Janelta Power on the number 3 Summit Fleet barrel. His day money winning run last night wound him up number 3 in the aggregate for the former champion of Strathmore and Saskatoon and a reserve world champ. Troy Flatt and Ironwood Building Corporation come to the number 2 Western Financial barrel, sitting 4th in the aggregate for the 24-year veteran. And on the number 1 GMC barrel, Aspen Crossing Railway Excursions, Chance Flatt goes to the number 1 barrel, sitting 2nd in the aggregate, where he wound up after last night's 3rd place finish. He's a 3-time world champion outrider, is Chance Flatt, and his outriders today, Trey McGillivray and Quade Tournier. Troy Flatt with Brendan Nolan and Ethan Matawillo. Gary Gorst will feature Casey Knight and Dayton Sutherland. And for Chad Hardin, it is the Rory story. Rory Jarvis, reigning world champ, and Rory Armstrong, future world champ. Oh, you're in good hands, Chad Hardin. Here he comes. He started touring with us in 2000. He won the Rookie of the Year in 2000. And in 2 years, he won the Ponoka Stampede in 2002. Went on to win the Calgary Stampede and the Edmonton Chuckwagon Championship in 2009. Chad Hardin and Myers, Norris Penny, MNP. Gary Gorst, Janelta is in. Troy Flatt, Ironwood. Chance Flatt and Aspen Crossing. Heat number 8. Don't be late. There's a horn, and the charge is underway in a quick start for Chance Flatt and Aspen Crossing on the 1 barrel, and Chad Hardin, MNP, and up the middle comes Troy Flatt and Gary Gorst. 4 wagons in the hunt, and it is Chance Flatt. Aspen Crossing going flat out into that first turn. Best of company by a full wagon length with barrels up and outriders looking good. Chance Flatt, Aspen Crossing Railway Excursions, throwing some more coal on that engine as he rounds that second turn, and now it's Gary Gorst. Janelta Power that's easing on in behind. He's 2 widths off the rail. He has got Troy Flatt, Ironwood Building to the inside of him. At Gary's left elbow is that big lead team of Troy Flatt. Then we go back to Chad Hardin. MNP, don't count him out just yet. He's our aggregate winner. But into that third turn, Chance Flatt, Aspen Crossing Railway Excursions, has control of the track with Gary Gorst making the overland trip. And Troy Flatt, the Warburg Warrior, easing into that position where he is right on the stove rack of Chance Flatt, and they round the sunset turn of Century Downs, and here they come to the wire. Chance Flatt, Aspen Crossing Railway Excursions, and this excursion is going to end in a victory for Chance Flatt and Aspen Crossing. Troy Flatt hanging in for second with Gary Gorst closing ground to be third, and Myers, Norris, Penny, MNP, and Chad Hardin completes the field of 4 in heat number 8. Heat 8 courtesy of Rangeland RV for all your RV needs. Let's go back and check out our Wrangler running times in heat number 7. The $10,000 dash from Century Downs. $5,000 to the winner. And the winner is Aubrey Matawillo, Cooperators Insurance at $124.81 to win the heat. $124.81. Mitch Sutherland with Captain Kirk driving. Brown Chev, $124.99, $124.99 to be second. Evan Salmond, Westland Livestock, $125.32 to be third. And Roger Moore, PCL Construction, $127.77 to be fourth. It's all on the big screen, Superboard, as we welcome back our Outriders I want to pay tribute to all the folks behind the scenes, up here in the eye in the sky, our video crew, our camera crew, our coordinators of videos and track times, the whole bit. How about a nice hand for the Century Downs crew up here in the eye in the sky, the best video team in the game. Thank you, crew. We appreciate it. Here he comes, the history maker at Century Downs, the first, the newest, the oldest. He's done it all. Chad Harden and MNP, our aggregate champion. And this young man has been the Chuckwagon Person of the Year award winner for professionalism about 3 years ago. Gary Gorst, the daddy of them all and the granddaddy of a few more now, as Gary and Janice joined our tour several years ago. He's been driving since the 70s. He's been a champion pretty much everywhere. Ironwood Building Corporation and Troy Flad, the Warburg Warrior, rolls on by with championships in Lloydminster. Finals many places. How about that, Chance Flad? Aspen Crossing Railway Excursions. And he gets the job done as he comes across the line today in first spot for the 3-time World Outriding Champion. We have arrived at the Century Downs feature race. $50,000 and a brand new Desert Sales horse trailer across the way. To bring us up to speed on our corporate partners in heat number 9, we go trackside with Gary.
Thank you, Les. And then there were 4. In the championship final heat number 9 on the number 4 barrel Jordy Fike for Iconic Electric and Controls. For over a decade, they've been proudly owned and operated from Western Canada with a broad range of electrical, instrumentation, and control services. Check them out online, iconicec.ca. On the number 3 barrel Ross Knight for Chrome Diesel Repair, based in Lloydminster. They're your complete one-stop heavy-duty truck shop, now featuring new technology to reduce fuel consumption up to 40% on diesel equipment. On to its Luke Tournier, the Angels Legacy Project in the race for life. Every second counts. Help us harness Canada. If we all pull together, our goal is to accelerate organ donor registration across Canada. And on one, Kurt Bensmiller for Versatile Energy Services, your flow control solution provider with over 150 years of combined oil and gas experience. You can trust their versatile service. Well test, well done. You've met the Canvas partners. And now to bring you the Titans, let's go back upstairs to Les McIntyre.
Thank you, Gary. Here's an iconic wagon driver at 6'8", Jordy Fike on the number 4 Wrangler barrel. Wound up 12th in the aggregate. A young kid that qualified for the Calgary Stampede in his rookie year. He's got the talents of his granddaddy, Ron David. Ross Knight in Chrome Diesel Repair to that number 3 Summit Fleet barrel. Wound up 8th in the aggregate. He's been in this final heat situation before. He's the Dawson Creek champ of 018. Lightning Luke Tournier, a finalist at the Calgary Stampede this summer, a 2-time world champion, or 2-time Calgary champion, and a former world champion. Wound up 11th in the aggregate. He's got the Angels Legacy Project on his canvas, and the Duke of Newberry. Versatile Energy, the come from behind king of victories, the reigning world champion for the 4th time in the last 5 years. Kurt wound up 10th in the aggregate, and he goes to that number 1 barrel. His outriders, the A-team, Rory Jarvis and Cole Somerville. Luke Tournier with he and Michelle's son, Quade Tournier and Dayton Sutherland. Ross Knight with he and Gail's son, Casey Knight and Chance Flad. And Jordy Fike with Ethan Matawillo and Rory Armstrong, and the stage is set. Jordy Fike draws in Ross Knight, Luke Tournier, Kurt Bensmiller, Versatile Energy Services, and Heat 9 is in line. Quiet on the set, please. There's the horn, and the Century Downs $50,000 dash for cash is underway, and Lightning Luke lets the thunder roll as he gets out alongside of Kurt Bensmiller, the Duke of Newberry. Versatile Energy on the rail. Ross Knight in behind with his chrome diesel repair. And Jordy Fike, Iconic Electric and Controls in the back of the pack. Outriders are looking good and barrels are all standing. And here's what's trending into that second turn. Luke Tournier, the Angels Legacy Project. There are angels among us, and he's going to need them because Kurt Bensmiller, Versatile Energy, is on the inside. And here comes Ross Knight. Chrome diesel repair, kicks his fuel pump into gear. Jordy Fike stalking our leaders. Iconic Electric in behind the pack, and here comes the move we've been watching all season long. Kurt Bensmiller, Versatile Energy, says, let's go, boys. It's showtime as he takes him into that fourth turn with Lightning Luke Tournier, the Angels Legacy Project, and they roll around the turn, rain to rain like a runaway freight train, and here they come to the wire. Kurt Bensmiller, the world champion, headed to the wire with his wheels on fire. They're not going to catch him. Kurt Bensmiller, Versatile Energy, Luke Tournier, Angels, and Ross Knight with Chrome Diesel, Jordy Fike, Iconic, and that's a wrap in the Century Downs $50,000 dash for cash. If you liked it, let them know it. They can still hear you. Let's check out our Wrangler running times in an $11,000 heat number 8, $5,500 to the winner. And here's your results on the big screen. Troy Flad, Ironwood Building Corporation, the winner at 125.59. Gary Gorst and Janelta Power, second at 126.13. Chance Flad, Aspen Crossing, had a penalty for 2 seconds. An outrider missed a barrel to move him up to a total of 126.62. And Chad Hardin, the aggregate champ, MNP at 127.23. Your Wrangler wrap-up of heat number 8. It's an outrider salute from the best in the game, and these guys get it done here every year. I want you to welcome in the white shirts, Rory Jarvis, Cole Somerville. In the red, Quade Tournier, Dayton Sutherland. In the black, Casey Knight, Chance Flad. In the yellow, Ethan Matawillo and Rory Armstrong, the best in the game. We are moments away from meeting our champion driver. We'll do presentations at trackside for the large check and that beautiful Desert Sales 4-horse Angle Hall tack room extravaganza. Ross Knight, a superstar in both associations, a Dawson Creek champion, chrome diesel repair for a young man that spent many years in Qatar as a paramedic. Iconic Electric and Jordy Fike, their big power tower. In 9 years on the tour, he's been an award winner, carrying on the third generation of a great family chuck wagon operation. Lightning Luke Tournier and the Angels Legacy Project, we thank them for their great causes and we support them 100% with organ donation. Luke was in the Calgary Stampede final this summer where he was the champion twice in his great career that spans 32 years and 30 show victories. Lightning Luke Tournier, the Angels Legacy Project. He and Michelle won the Chuck Wagon Persons of the Year in 2013. And the winningest driver in the world for the last 6 years, the Duke of Newbury, Kurt Bensmiller, Versatile Energy Services, the #1 Gunners, the 4-time world champion in the last 5 years, and 4 times the Calgary Stampede champion in the last 6 years. This year he cleaned up in Medicine Hat and in Strathmore just to put it all together to cap off a great season.
The evolution of service has come to Davis Chevrolet in Airdrie. Introducing the Express Service Kiosk. Drop-off and pickup service available to you 24/7. Touch the screen to get started. Follow the prompts. When ready, place your keys inside. Choose how you want to be notified. And you're done. The Express Service Kiosk. New, fast, easy. Experience the Davis difference today.
The results are in. And here is your Wrangler wrap-up of heat number 9, featuring a check for $50,000 and that beautiful desert trailer horse sale. In reverse order, it is Jordy Fike, Iconic Electric and Controls at $125.86. Ross Knight, Chrome Diesel Repair, $125.38. Luke Tournier, the Angels Legacy Project, 1:24.86. And making history, the champ, Kurt Bensmiller, Versatile Energy Services, with 1:24.53 to claim the first ever Century Downs Championship Sunday Dash for Cash. Oh, I can feel the power of a GMC headed our way with our championship driver. That's as good a looking truck as you can get. And Glenn Smaha and his crew will hand you the keys if you step on into Davis GMC. With the arrival of our champion and his entourage, oh, I can't wait to see Harley and Hayes and Vaughn on Facebook tonight. Here we go back down trackside to meet the first ever Century Downs champion and his outriders and his family and even his training puppy dog. Here is Gary Gross.
Thank you, Les McIntyre. Well, he makes his way over. He's accompanied by family and two of his outriders. He is the inaugural Century Downs Winter Zone champion. Give it up from Dewberry, Alberta, Kurt Bensmiller. His outriders, Rory Jarvis and Cole Somerville. Congratulations, Kurt, along with family and friends. We're going to present him and his outriders with those beautiful championship buckles. Olson championship buckles to the driver and his outriders, presented by Mr. Paul Reineville and the crew of Century Downs Racetrack and Casino, as we give the outriders and our champion driver, who was crowned as the world's champion off that number one barrel. Man, he smoked him. Coming alongside right now, we have the keys to that beautiful brand new trailer presented by Century Downs. And a big thank you to Mr. Aaron Sieben of Desert Trailer Sales and Pro Lift Crane Service. Along with the beautiful championship buckles and the keys to that brand new trailer comes a check that the girls are ready to cash in the amount of $50,000. Congratulations, Kurt. You are now officially in the winner's zone. We're going to step down, and you know what? For me, it never gets old. For him, it might. Interview time. Kurt, first of all, take us through your race here in championship heat number 9 off the number 1 barrel.
Well, we switched up the lead team so they were fresh again today. They kind of threw Rory a kink, and they were kind of under a cross-check, but he got him out before the horn, and we didn't make quite the turn we wanted to, but they ran hard all the way, and once we got ahead of Luke, I knew he was going to be hard to outrun us.
Any immediate plans for the 50,000?
Well, we're supposed to be flying out tomorrow to go buy more horses, so that's probably where a lot of it will go.
Excellent. Congratulations, Kurt Ashley, to the Outriders, Rory and Cole. How about it? They are the inaugural champions of the Winter Zone Championship. And I want you to put your hands together for the champions and all the folks here at Century Down Racetrack and Casino.